Hi, John Solari here, from The Method Actor Speaks. And today I have Vera. I'm going to let you say your last name.
Vera Tomilova.
Tomilova.
Oh yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, right.
You got that. Now, we're here on The Method Actor Speaks where we talk to actors about what they do and why they do it. Now, you're a director, right?
Yeah, right.
Now, how did that come about? Why did you become a director?
I don't know, since childhood I want to be somewhere in the movies and film industry, and since childhood I create something in school and everywhere, so it was like perfect for me to be a director. I have never I don't know, I never wanted to be anybody else.
No.
So
you didn't want to be in front of the camera?
Sometimes I need to do this when I have no actors, but for me it's better to be a director, because I like to work with actors, I like to create films, I like to direct. I don't know.
When you work with actors, what does that mean? How do you work with actors?
I explain my idea and I expect all the time something from actors too, so it's like collaboration between two people, and every time you get something new from this. I mean, and I like that, because this is art and this is living art, and I like this collaboration. I like to work with people. And
what type of actors do you like?
Good actors.
But, which is sometimes hard to find.
Yeah, but I'm trying, and
we're going to talk about your two films here in a minute. And what I'd like to know, when you say you work with actors, do you like to rehearse? Do you like to improvise? Do you let your actors bring what they bring, or do you want them to bring just what you want?
All the time I like when people bring something from themselves on set, because it can be an actors, it can be cinematographers. Everybody should bring something from themselves, because I think that this is a real art. How it can be, I don't know, because and it depends, you know. For example, this is I have the short movie.
Can we see it? Let me see if we can see.
Yeah.
There we go.
Fallen Angel.
Fallen Angel.
Yeah.
Which I like the title. How did you come up with that? Did you write this or just direct it?
I directed, because original treatment belongs to George Gavrilov. I used to work with him in Russia, and I just decided to create the short movie to like promote the big movie. Because and it was my final movie in my New York Film Academy.
Oh, you went to the New York Film Academy?
Yeah, I went to New York Film Academy, and this is my final movie. And there are several scenes there, and for example, scene with Richard Harrison, it was like full improvisation, because he asked me to do this. So they knew the main topic, the main idea of the scene, and Richard Harrison with Adam Zechman, they were improvising, so there were no lines for them in this scene. And what about other scenes? It was different, because scene with Natalie, there were exact lines. Yeah, Natalie Byrne, and there were exact lines for everybody, and we rehearsed a lot, and they were making the scene with exact lines.
Now,
so
Richard Harris, now that's a new Richard Harris. That's not the one that died, is it?
Richard Harrison is alive. What are you talking about?
There was a Richard Harris, a Irish actor.
Yeah.
He passed away. And so this, how old is he?
75, I think.
Oh, so you, oh, yeah, that's him.
That's him, and he's
Oh,
alive.
so when did you do this? But he's no longer with us anymore.
I talked to him, you know, he had birthday just 2 weeks ago, and I talked to him by phone, so he lives in Malibu.
Well, this is a different Richard Harris. Spelling is different. I'm thinking of Richard Harris. He was a, you know.
No, it's Richard Harrison.
Oh,
so
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my bad. Because I'm saying this one, because I know once you die, you can, you know, then you can use that name. Once the actor dies. So he's, okay, this is Malibu.
Yeah, and he's really great actor.
Now, what was some of your training in Russia?
I graduated university in Moscow as a director. I was studying for 5 years to be a director. After that, I was working on Central Russian TV as a director of documentaries. And after that, I came here to improve my knowledges and to get a new education. And that's...
In Moscow, I mean, that's one of the greatest theater trainings in the world. I would think Stanislavski and all that. And then when we were talking off camera, I'm a member of the Actors Studio, which all comes from that, in Moscow, of that. So you're in, you had good training, really excellent training. I'm surprised you don't try to get involved with Actors Studio. They do have a writer-directors unit, and it's right over by you.
Yeah, but you know, New York Film Academy is very famous in Russia because they have a lot of grants for Russians, and they have a lot of, like, you know, competitions where you can get like free education, and a lot of my friends used to go to New York Film Academy. That's why I know about this school, that's why I went there.
Well, Actors Studio is not a school.
Yeah, I know.
No, but yeah, I know what you're saying. But I think it's great that you went to them. Now, this was in Russia, they had the New York Academy too?
Now, yeah, but you know, this is not like a full education in Russia. They have just short workshops,
right.
Something like that. And they invite teachers from Hollywood in Moscow, but there is no like 1 year or 2 years program, you know, where you can get...
No master programs, it's just like... yeah, that's interesting. So, now you're training, what did that have to... What did you have to do as actors? Go out and make films and on your own and write, do everything?
In this movie, I made
everything. In the school. What was some of the training they gave you?
Oh yeah, we had like a lot of classes for sure, and we had actors, but I invite actors from the side because I know Natalie before I know her from Russia, so I invite her, and Adam Tsachman, he's also like, he was born in Russia, but he moved to Canada and after that here, so I know him through my, you know, in Hollywood everything is, you know, this person know another person, so that's how I get actors. That's
good, and it's not good because, I mean, you know what these actors can do, so you feel safe with them.
Yeah, and it was important for me then because I just arrived and, you know, my English now is not so good, but then it was like horrible.
Your English sounds pretty good, yeah, really. You know, I'm very impressed with your language, but I'm really impressed that you are a director, because that is really.
Yeah, no, it's hard, especially here in Hollywood, because nobody will help you. You should create everything by yourself. You should just, you couldn't like relax and be like, you know, oh, I'm a poor girl, nobody can help me. You should just put your ass up from the chair and start doing something.
Yes.
And that's important. Start to promote yourself and start to put all your ideas that in your head. You should believe in it, and you should start doing anything to like bring it into life.
Bring it to life. And what did you do to do that? How did you go about doing that? Do you have any stories you could tell the audience of how it came about that you, how did you find the script? How did you find your actors? How did you put it together?
What about this movie?
Yeah.
Or like
well, even this movie.
In this movie, I used to work with a producer of this movie in Russia, and I read several treatments that he had. So, and I had just made a call for him, and I asked him, may I use one of his treatments to make a short movie here, so he can use it later to promote his like feature film. Because it was a treatment for feature film, and I create just several scenes from this feature film. Now it's like a short, completely short movie, but he can make a trailer out from this movie after it will be done with all festivals and promote his feature film. So because I couldn't do anything that I'm not fully involved with my soul in it, and sure, I have a lot of stories and scripts that I want to bring into life, and I just couldn't, you know, I couldn't just sit in without doing anything. I'm all the time doing something. I'm all the time trying to get new stories, trying to collaborate with people, trying to talk with people, and to bring them ideas. And you know, people, they usually, when they are listening to somebody who is really trusting his idea and passionate, yeah, usually they are trying to help all the time, because there are a lot of people here which just talking about something but not doing anything. And when you just start really doing anything, something,
right,
you start to find the opportunity to create it. I don't know.
No, you're right. Talk is cheap.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible.
Yeah.
You got to get out.
And for example, Oleg Vidov, Richard, how I found Richard Harrison. Oleg Vidov, this is a famous Russian actor. He lives in Malibu, and I know him, and he helped me a lot too. And Richard Harrison, this is his best friend, and he asked him to help me, because Richard Harrison, he didn't take part in any kind of movies since I think for like about 12 years.
Really?
Yeah, but he agreed to take part in my movie, in this movie, and I really appreciate that, and really, because he's, you know, really high-level actor, so that's why I'm proud that he's here in my movie. And about Natalie, the same. I'm very appreciate that she agreed to take part in this movie, because she's such an amazing actress, and all the time when I'm doing something, I'm really fully in love with all my actors. I couldn't like imagine how it can be the opposite way.
And how do you go about getting a crew? You know, your DP and the crew. How did you go about getting that? That must have been...
I was in academy. So all my crew was the member of my class.
Oh, students, yeah.
But you know about DP, I bring my own DP from Russia that I used to work with. Yeah, so because he got education at NIFA too, because I told him, oh, okay, you can go there. So we came here together, and I used to work with him in Russia. That's why we understood each other. And half of my crew was Russians, half of it was American people. But I don't know. I'm telling you, people know each other, and they are trying to help, and they are trying. Oh, you know, I know the man. He has sound equipment. Maybe you will talk to him if he would be interested. He will help you. And I talked to him, and he brought his equipment, and he worked for free. I mean, everybody was working for free in this movie, because. And it's amazing.
Well, I'm thinking that now, how did the American crew and the Russian crew work?
You know, that's because we were talking English because it's, you know, like not so very good to talk Russian when somebody couldn't understand that. But it's, you know, there were very funny situation on set. It was when girl, she was helping me with props, and she was like Indian girl, and she couldn't understand Russian for sure, but sometimes I used to talk with my DP in Russian, just very quick, several phrases, just let him understand what is going on. And she came to me, this Indian girl, Monica, she came to me, and I started telling her very fast in Russian what I want. And she was listening, and I just noticed that she's listening, but she's agree, but it was very strange reaction. And when I finished, she went and started doing what I just told her to do. And I was surprised, I realized just that I was talking to her in Russian, and I told Monica, but sorry, I told you all of this in Russian, you don't understand that. She was like, no, I understand. Because she told me, you were so passionate, and you all the time you show with your hands what you want, that I understand very clearly that you tell me to do. So it's funny, but you know, it's not about language, it's about the idea that you want
communicate,
to...
yes. It is the passion, love, and the communication of the art.
Yeah. Because, you know, when the script, it was a treatment, and then when I put it into the script, how do you think looks my dialogues here? When I wrote the dialogues, it was awful, because it was not speakable. But I talked to my actors, and we decided that's why it was hard to, you know, communicate with actors. But we found a way how to make it. So.
And how long is this film?
This is 21 minutes.
That sounds like a pretty almost a short film.
This is short film.
Yeah. Then this is not a treatment, is it?
No, this is a completely short film.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Oh. And have you shown it anywhere?
Yeah, sure. I won Accolade Film Festival as a Best Woman Director. This movie is an official program of Lucerne International Film Festival. This movie was in the program of International Film Festival in India.
India?
I forgot the city. And actually, there are several like film festivals, and it keep going. I mean, the festivals is.
Today you're very fortunate that there are so many festivals that you could put your film in. Years ago there wasn't, but
but now there are a lot. But
anyway,
I prefer to put my films in festivals that, you know, that not just the first year started, but like have some status.
Now, how long ago did you do this, and how long did it take to make?
About, I think, 3 months. But it was really hard work, because when I was editing this movie, I hadn't slept for like 3 days once, because I need to make it as soon as possible. So.
When you do that, then when you looked at the film, did you realize, were there things you wanted to do that you didn't do?
Oh, sure, all the time. You just,
oh
my God, I should do this, I should do that, and you know, you could not. I never can be satisfied of what I made. Every time I want to make anything better and better and better.
And were the people that you had a pretty big cast?
Oh yeah.
Really. Now, I guess you are happy with the final product, but how did other people, beside the winning awards, what was the response of the audience when they saw this?
People crying.
Really?
Yeah, people crying, and for me, it's the most important thing when you're sitting in the theater and everybody watching your movie, and when everybody, you know, when it's silence and people start crying. This is like, this feeling, I couldn't like explain this. You should feel this.
The goosebumps.
Yeah.
Good. So you can tell me now, what is this story about? So the audience, you know, so I know. I just wanted to see what is the story really about?
And this is a story about a girl, Russian girl, who came to get her dream in Hollywood, and about a photographer who put her into drugs, and just watch the movie.
Typical Hollywood story then.
Yeah, typical Hollywood story. That's why people understand this story.
A lot of that does happen. Is this based on a true story?
Not really, but you know, I think that there are a lot of true stories like that, because you can see people like that.
Well, then, yeah. So, but I mean, it's based on something, because most stories are based on something that the writer personally knows.
Oh yeah.
Of. So then, you know, it could be a true story, or like you said, they just changed the names and things like that. We're going to do another show after this one, and I want to talk about and we'll talk about that one too. But it's amazing. Now, you went to the Moscow, and that's the Stanislavski. Your actors, what kind of training did they have that you know of?
I know that Natalie, she was training here in US, because she lived here for like a long time, and she's a dancer too. She's a ballet dancer. So
that's great for movement.
Yeah, and she danced in this movie, so I use it. Yeah, sure, I use it. You
Smart
can
of you.
Yeah, she's. It's her jump. You can see it.
Oh yes, 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 yes. That's great that you use with the talent outside of acting what these actors have.
Yeah, because I was a dancer for like 14 years too, and I used to use dance in all my movies.
That's, you know, the actors here today in America, that's a dying art of what I call training. I mean, you trained as a director in ballet and everything. That years ago, all actors did that. And they really, and now they still do it in Europe, but not so much in this country anymore. Now they all want to be movie stars, not actors. You know, the training is not as good.
But you know, she told me about her methods when she got her education here as an actress, that she used to perform, it's like living method, when she need to act as a homeless person in one of her shows. She told me that she used to lived on the street for 3 days to understand how it should be.
That's method acting. They call it method. That's what I am.
That's method actor. So
that's what Strasberg's teaches. Yeah.
Yeah, and I am really admire of that, because you are telling me now that in Russia is the great training of actors, but you know, the famous actors in Russia, I used to work there in a lot of companies, and actors there now, they are not practicing this, you know. That's why I was very disappointed now in working with actors in Russia, and that's why I was so happy when I found this in United States.
So I guess over there now they want to be movie stars and not actors too, you know. We have a lot of that, but I mean, if you look at American TV and movies, most of the actors that you see that are famous now either come from Australia or England, a lot of them, because they still train over there. And people don't realize how much training comes to them. It's just unbelievable. But we're going to talk about, that's really, I didn't realize that about Russia, that the training is not there anymore. You would think
You know, they train it in the universities, but they stop training it and they stop practicing it when they're really involved in movies and film industry. That's why it's very disappointed. I mean, very few of them like do this. It's very sad.
But it is sad. But we're going to end on a sad note there. This is part one, and we'll be back in a minute.